Hey, welcome to Sweet Truckn Cooking in the Sweet Truckn kitchen with the Sweet Truckn Elvis apron. Thank you very much. Okay, so I am going to do a cooking video today. I hope it works out. This is going to be my first time attempting editing a video, not just filming something right off the cuff and throwing it out there on the YouTubes. I'm actually going to try and show clips of this as I go along. If that doesn't work out, then I'm just going to do a quick, this is what I made, and you won't see any of this, and never mind. So now today's recipe is inspired by a heritage on my mother's side. My mother's side heritage is Ukrainian and Polish. And something that I grew up with, I remember going over to Grandma and Grandpa's house a lot when I was a kid, or at Christmas or Easter, any big family celebration, we would have cabbage rolls, or as we call them, chlapsi. Now, this is going to be a lazy version of cabbage rolls, and it is high carb, low fat, non-vegan weekend cabbage roll, lazy man cabbage rolls. And the reason being is I am fully plant-based, minimum 5 days a week, but on the weekends I have one or two meals that do include animal protein. So today's meal, I'll show the recipe or show the ingredients now, and I'll try and splice it together, I hope it works, with the cooking process. So the main part of the recipe is going to be, I'm going to use Basmati rice, and I'm going to cook that. Rather than adding water with the Basmati rice, I am going to use chicken broth. Trying to do things a little lower in sodium lately. So this is the no salt added chicken broth. If you didn't want to use chicken broth, you could use a low sodium vegetable broth, which is something that if I was making this as part of meal prep for the week on the road, I would use the vegetable broth. In there, I'm going to put a chopped yellow onion. I'm going to add tomato sauce. Again, I found a low sodium tomato sauce as opposed to the regular tomato sauce that I have. And just to talk about the difference there, as far as sodium goes, in 1/4 cup, the regular tomato sauce, 220 milligrams of sodium. In the no salt added is only 20 milligrams of sodium. So tenfold in there, saves a lot there. So I'm gonna have the rice, the broth, tomato sauce. Now cabbage rolls are made with cabbage, so I am not going to cut up and boil and do a bunch of cabbage, but what I am gonna do is I'm gonna add sauerkraut to as my cabbage for the dish. And this, of course, a lot of sodium in the sauerkraut. But what I do is I pour the sauerkraut into a colander, I strain it, and then I actually rinse it with water. So I still get the fermented cabbage, which is great for the gut, but then I've rinsed off a lot of the sodium that's in there. And then what we have in the recipe is the ground beef. So just to show you, this here is ground eye of round, and I ground this up back in January and froze it just to show you how much I eat meat these days. But this is eye of round. I bought my own meat grinder a while back when I was much more meat heavy. And eye of round is very lean. It's about the leanest cut of beef that you can get. It's actually fat-wise content. Eye of round and chicken breast about the same fat, except one's red meat, one's chicken breast. For this, I like obviously to use ground beef in my chlapsi cabbage rolls. So I've got, this here is 2 pounds of eye of round, and hopefully I'll be able to take a video and show you as I cook it up in the pan. When you normally do ground beef, all that fat that's in there, this cooks up just basically dry. There's like no fat to accumulate in the bottom and then have to dump out or rinse or anything like that. And also, if I was gonna do this 100% plant-based, if I was making this for a meal prep during the week, I would just use beans instead of the beef. So this could be a 100% fully plant-based meal with using the vegetable broth and beans instead of the chicken broth and ground beef. And actually, something else I learned, some part of the TMI that I do on this channel every once in a while, is I've discovered something about beans. I've had a lot of people, I've had people comment on my videos before saying, I wish I could eat that many beans. My stomach, you know, and the gas and all sorts of bad stuff happens. And when I eat my beans, like on the road, it's 100% plant-based, and I've got no issues. I can eat tons of beans all week long. No bloating, no gas, everything's fine. I found out that if I mix beans and animal protein, then we have an issue. And that's what happened last night. I had a meal. I had rice and beans, but I added some chicken breast to that. And yeah, I could have sat in the hot tub and not turned the jets on with what happened after that. So for people that are, you know, maybe think that they have an aversion to beans or that it's a real problem, maybe try beans and rice on their own without the meat. Anyways, that's just my experience there. So I'm gonna get everything prepared here and start cooking, and hopefully I'll be able to show you that as we go along. And if not, then I'll just be showing you how everything turned out. Okay, here I got the eye of round cooking up here in the pan, and just want to show you. You can see there's like tons of steam coming off that. That is just water in the beef. Like I don't know if I'll be able trying to. I don't know if you can see that, but there's literally no fat at all sitting in the in that pan as it cooks. It's just the moisture that's in the beef itself. In fact, if I just left this and tried to cook it, you know, when you cook like regular ground beef and it's in the pan, you can get that charred up real good. I could cook this until it was basically cardboard and it wouldn't char because it doesn't have that amount of fat in it. So very lean beef to add to my lazy cabbage rolls today. And love this tool here. I actually noticed Latchkey was using one of these in one of his videos a while back. I saw that and I'm like, that is what I need for cooking up stuff in the frying pan, because I usually would used to use a spatula and just chop all of it. This thing works absolutely amazing. And Eve's Journey, if you happen to be watching this, it's the Hexclad pan. I love these Hexclad guys. I highly recommend them. Anyways, I'm going to see if I can get this one in the video, and I'll catch you on the next part. Okay, now that I've got the ground beef cooked up, my onions chopped, I'm ready to throw everything into the slow cooker and get all that started. So first I'm gonna take 2 cups Basmati rice, just dump that in. I've got my chicken broth, that the container is about 4 cups. So I'm just gonna pour the whole thing because it's 2 cups liquid to 1 cup of the Basmati rice. All right, and then I'm going to add my chopped onion that I did. A little bit stuck to the bowl, which I'll get out when I've got another hand free. And then I'm going to add, so I cooked up 2 pounds of the eye of round ground beef, and I'm gonna put half of it in to start and see how that ends up working out. And I can always add more afterwards. Harder to take ground beef out of the recipe after you've already added it. Let's see here. So, just gonna give this a quick little stir. And then as well, I'm also gonna start with 3 of the cans of the tomato sauce. And again, you can always add more afterwards if it so needs. And it's a good thing I'm wearing the apron as I spill all over the place here. So I'm just gonna give that all a nice stir. You can see it really fills up quite a bit of that slow cooker there. And of course, as the rice expands and soaks up that liquid, that'll be great. I'm just looking at the consistency there. Yeah, I don't think I'll have to add the other ground beef. So I'm gonna go ahead and place that on high, cover it up, and oh, it's supposed to be lazy cabbage rolls. I almost forgot my cabbage. So my sauerkraut, drained and rinsed sauerkraut. That was a big splash. Yeah, so okay, this is really starting to fill up. This is gonna make a lot of meals. So yeah, we'll just stir all this up. I'm gonna cook it on high and show you the finished product when it's done. Okay, so this is epilogue time of Sweet Truckn cooking in the kitchen. And to wrap everything up, the entire lazy cabbage roll in the slow cooker took 4 hours to complete. And I already had supper because of the length of time and how late I started in the day and everything. So we already ate, and there is still tons left over. My wife and I, we each had 2 bowls of the lazy cabbage rolls. So with the 2 bowls we each had, plus the 5th bowl that I just had there for a demonstration, there's still a ton left in the slow cooker. And just to recap everything that all the ingredients that I had in there, with the rice, the ground beef, the sauerkraut, the onion, the tomato sauce. I also added some garlic powder. I had some onion powder, black pepper. I didn't add any extra salt to the actual to the actual recipe while I was cooking. Just what we added for when we ate. And I ended up using the rest of that ground beef. So in total, the 2 pounds of Eye round ground beef that when it was cooked down ended up being about 600 grams of Eye round that was in there. And when we went to eat it, we just put a little extra sauerkraut on top and mixed it all in. Sauerkraut without rinsing or anything, gave it a nice little zing with the vinegar in the sauerkraut there. The total the entire crock pot ended up being there was about 200 grams of protein in there. The entire thing had less than 30 grams of fat in the entire recipe. So carbohydrates were somewhere around 500 grams. So obviously a lot of volume, very low fat, very filling, very delicious. And there's the tons left over. So my wife's gonna use some of that for her lunches during the week, probably freeze a little bit. I have some next weekend because I'm going on the road tomorrow, and I just do plant-based on them. So if I had made that recipe for food prep for the road, obviously I would have used black beans instead of the ground beef, and use the vegetable broth instead of the chicken broth. The chicken broth was still fat-free though. It was a fat-free chicken broth and low sodium. And yeah, so I think I covered everything there. Hope I didn't forget anything. It's Saturday night now. I'm definitely not gonna get this put together because editing's a brand new thing for me, even if I end up getting this out there at all, but it won't be tonight. So hopefully I'll get it done on Sunday before I go to work, in which case I probably won't do any Truckn cooking for a video anyways, for what I take for my meal prep. But I will show during the week what I brought with me, what I'm putting together to take with me on the road, which is, again, high carb, low fat, and for me, works well plant-based during the week. And yeah, so that's Sweet Truckn cooking in the kitchen. My first cooking video. Hope you guys liked it. Hope it works out that I can actually put all this together and get it out. And if you guys got any questions about it or anything else or ideas, I hesitate to ask if you want me to cook anything else. But whatever. Put it in the comments, guys, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks.